Oh, Big Daddy says we might have to redo the animation. Brian Garrity, our real estate expert, joins us here this morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Now, we're talking about the fact that short sales are something we thought were completely behind us.
Yes.
Because the market was improving.
Correct.
And so short sales being, when people don't have enough equity in their home, they can't sell it for what they owe.
Right. Or they're underwater. They're facing foreclosure. They're facing losing their home. All the stuff that we had talked about for so many years.
So these are not gone?
But they're not gone. They had basically dissipated, and not 100%. They still remained, 15 to 20% on market. But now what's happened is you have these HELOX, these seconds that are resetting. So some people had a balloon payment on their seconds.
Right.
And now they can't refinance, and they're going to owe the bank $100,000 because it's going to be called due. Some people have seconds where they were interest only for 10 years.
That was me.
Okay, and then those are they're not renewable, so those are gonna come due. So the payments are going from like $200 to $800. So it's gonna throw people into a tizzy. There are still people that are suffering, that don't have equity, that haven't been able to get back on their feet, and that's very unfortunate. However, the short sale, and for anyone to say, oh, they're not around anymore, that's not true. We're seeing a resurgence of them, and if you don't act this time, we had said it plenty of times in 2010, plenty of times in 2011, plenty of times in 2012. This time, for real, you're out of time. So you need to take action, because the banks now don't have all the same programs they once had. They're much better staffed in terms of handling them. It does not mean they're any nicer. They're still mean. They're still mean and nasty. I just did one recently, and they were just mean and nasty. I'll leave the bank's name out of it, but I have another one with them. And if they pull this again, I'm going to say exactly who it was. But they treat these people like they're going to magically come up with $100,000. It's not going to happen. So do you still have to have a financial hardship? Yes. If you're underwater and you're seeing your neighbors recover, just know, not everybody's situation is the same. If you're in trouble, pick up the phone, please.
Okay, this is the reason to call you and to call your group, because you have a whole team that works on this stuff with you. But you pick up the phone, you answer the phone, and folks call, they're going to get Big Daddy. You're going to get Brian Garrity on the phone.
They are.
And have them talk through their individual situation is probably the best idea with you.
Generally get like some initial stuff on the phone, and then I always ask them to come in, and then we go out to the house. But we've got this down to such a science that if you really are in trouble, well, these few programs that still remain, take action, because I'm telling you, it's only going to get worse. It's going to go back to the days where if you do lose your house and they sell it on the courthouse steps, you're not going to get a release from that deficiency between what you owed and what they sold it for. You're going to be
on the hook for that forever. That's not going to be forgiven.
And right now you've got this stuff that's forgiven, and that's going to go away. I mean, the politicians want it gone. It's been really, really, really tough.
Okay, well, folks, see Brian Garrity for that. But now you're doing just a booming business now, buying and selling properties that are not distressed.
Lots of
Let's look at this one up in Fallbrook.
Love them. Yes,
this is
to be very clear, this is a traditional sale. Great SDL viewer. It's in Fallbrook. And
these folks watch the program.
They watch the program. They're good people.
That's beautiful.
They did a great job with the house. They've worked really hard on it. And I just thought, it's worth letting people know you can still get a house with some property, good value. I mean, it's kept up really.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
look at that.
They've done a great job with the house. And
all right.
It was his mom's house, and unfortunately his mom passed away. So, it makes it even that much more difficult when you're doing it. So to see somebody put that much love, you just feel the love in there when you're there.
Yeah, and all the more reason to get with an expert like Brian, and somebody that really knows the market and knows the facts. And your legal background here, I know you're not a practicing attorney, but you have the legal background. That's certainly got to come in handy, at least knowing how to navigate and help folks.
It does. And we worked on that listing for 2 months. So I don't just bring them in and throw it on and let's do it. Some listings maybe, but for the most part, if we need to do some things to get it ready to try to maximize your dollars, that's why you come in early. Let's do this. Selling season's here as far as most people are concerned.
So sooner rather than later.
But you know me. I say It doesn't matter what month it is. It's always a good time to sell. We're not in Missouri or Pittsburgh or somewhere where
That's
there's
right.
blizzards
Now,
and places you
are
can't
you talking
get to.
more than that on your radio show now? I know Wednesdays,
talking.
ESPN Radio, 2 to 3 o'clock. You do this every week. They drag you back in when you thought you were out.
Yeah.
So you talk just real estate, or you talk lifestyle?
We talk real estate. We talk a lot of lifestyle stuff. We do a lot of cutting up. We have a good time. Yesterday we talked about Facebook, privacy, invasion, loyalty, knocking people out that aren't loyal, and just some good stories.
Well,
we don't hide things. If you
Radio.
really want to know my life story, go to the radio show. We don't hide anything.
And enjoy that on Wednesdays, 2 to 3 on ESPN Radio.
Please.
Brian Garrity, the Garrity Group. It's always great to see you.
Love you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
For more information, you go to san diego6.com, click on San Diego Living, and get hooked up with Brian.